Antecedent-focused strategies help us prevent strong emotional responses when confronted with certain situations. They come into play before an emotional response has been fully triggered. Response-focused strategies are used after an emotional response has already been fully triggered. This helps us how others perceive us in those certain situations of stress and how we handle our emotions, and also how what coping mechanisms we use towards those certain situations. In the case that I'm a manager and the parent company tells me that they're closing and I have to inform each of the 20 employees that they're being laid off and myself as well, I would take one of the antecedent informed strategies, because this is I'm the first one to know about this news, so I have to take an approach of deciding how to react upon this situation before an emotional response is triggered and before telling my employees. So first, one of the 4 strategies include situation selection, which is to change or avoid a certain situation that have the potential to trigger an emotion. The second one would be situation modification, which is to alter a situation to change its outcome and its emotional impact. And the third one would be attention deployment, which is focusing your complete attention to an area that results in a much more positive income. And finally, cognitive change, which assesses the situation. It sees the bigger picture to bring a much more positive outcome. Out of all of them for this situation, I would choose cognitive change, because it's with altering or changing a situation. In this case, we can't change a lot of things that already happening. We already have the facts, which is the parent company is closing. Therefore, I would choose an approach to see the bigger picture in the way I tell my employees that they're no longer working in this company. So with cognitive change, I would bring my employees a much more positive way of telling the news to them, focusing on other ways we can see the problem, which is they can get a new they can go work in a new company and focus more on their goals. In my case, since I would be 2 weeks, I would have a bonus for staying 2 more weeks. I would focus more on that and focus on those 2 weeks that I still have to find something probably better, which is why I would choose cognitive change as the situation approach, the strategy to focus on this situation. For response-focused strategies, we have 2, which is reappraisal, which involves reevaluating the situation to a more objective way, and suppression, which is basically like hiding your emotions and showing a much more positive or neutral behavioral response. In this case, in my opinion, I would say suppression would be the best, because it's a situation where I, as the manager, would also be feeling really sad that I'm losing my job as well. So I would say in this case, to not make my employees feel worse than they will probably do, I would show myself as a more positive, take a positive approach to the situation, which is why I would say reappraisal is the least convenient in this case. And for the antecedent focused strategies, I would say the least helpful in this situation would be situation selection, because as I said before, there's nothing we can avoid from this situation or nothing we can change. So this one wouldn't work for this case. Organizational commitment and employee engagement is extremely crucial in a company's success, because this measures the connection between the employee and the company, which will make the employee perform better, have better creative ideas, which is innovation. It also drives productivity, loyalty. This will also decrease turnover, which also decreases the cost of hiring, the cost of training, etc. However, this can be counterproductive, because sometimes it is expected too much from the employees, which can cause burnout or too much stress on them, which it might affect their productivity overall, and also misleading goals, because as I said before, there can be so much expectation on how the company performs that they forget about each employee's personal goals, and this can lead to less motivation and other problems within the employees itself. So they might not want to work there anymore, or have some other problem surge from this overall problem.